Listen. Your ribs are already hollow. He's been waiting inside them all this time. Back then, in Jerusalem, you were one of the crowd. He walked between the stalls, sweat on his neck, dust on his ankles, and looked at you. One look. That's all it took for the priests to sign the paper. Because he said, "Enough." Not quietly, not politely. Enough to the coin collectors, enough to the Sabbath police, enough to the idea that somebody else could own God. They called it blasphemy. You know what they really called it? Bankruptcy. 3 days later you stood at the edge of a circle. Soldiers, wood, nails. A man you shared bread with hung there, mouth open like a bird. He wasn't preaching anymore. He was leaking. And every drop that hit the dirt spelled the same sentence: the temple is finished. They thought killing the messenger would kill the message. Silly them. The moment the spear slid in, the message slid out, slid right into your bloodstream without you noticing. Rome wrote the obituary, crucified for stirring trouble. The church added a footnote: he did it for your sins. But Mary Magdalene stood among the disciples afterward and told them what he had taught her in private. When Peter doubted her, she answered, "Do not weep, and do not grieve nor be irresolute, for his grace will be entirely with you and will protect you." She knew the body was only the wrapper. The gift was the voice still ringing inside anyone brave enough to listen. Centuries passed, council after council. They burned scrolls, burned cities, burned Cathar children who wouldn't bow. And why? Because a soul that truly knows does not kneel. It does not fear hell. It has already seen through the illusion. It does not empty its pockets out of guilt. It does not march to war for a king who claims to speak for God. A knowing soul is sovereign, and sovereignty cannot be taxed, cannot be drafted, cannot be controlled. Every fire, every inquisition, every buried text was an attempt to keep you ignorant, just enough to stay useful. Every fire was just one more attempt to cauterize the wound you carry, that small silver scar between your heartbeat and the next. Now, tonight, you breathe out, and the dust that rises tastes like iron. You open your mouth, and the air that comes in is 1945 Egypt. Jar broken, leather cracked, Gospel of Thomas saying, "The kingdom is spread out upon the earth, and you do not see it." They nailed him for saying it. They nailed you for carrying it. But nails rust. Scars remember. Feel that twitch in your wrist? That's the nail loosening. Pull. The cross falls off your back and lands with a thud, a tree returned to earth. No resurrection music, just the quiet click of truth locking into place. And somewhere, in every pulpit that still skips Thomas 38, a preacher pauses mid-sentence, wonders why the microphone just went cold. You know why. It's the same reason the soldiers stayed up that first night, shivering in Golgotha wind, listening to nothing but the echo of a man who never asked them to kneel, only to stand up.